Hey everybody, this is Chibuzor Sam here. I just bring in another episode to you today. Today I wanted to talk to especially those in the home service businesses. Maybe you have a website that's doing very well for you. Maybe you're running ads. And I just wanted to give you a simple tip. If you're doing this, you're going to make it. If you're not doing this, you're leaving money on the table. Period. So let's get into it. In fact, let me explain what I mean. So let's say you have an ad running or you have a website. People go onto your website, they fill out a form, and they hit submit. They filled out the form because they were interested in getting a quote, they were interested in your service, or they're scrolling Facebook, they saw some ad you had, get a free inspection, and they're thinking, I need this. And so they fill out the form, they give you their name, they give you their phone number, and they're in there right now hitting submit. Well, how long does it take for them to go to another app, start playing, get called by their spouse, have their kids nagging, whatever, right? How long until their context is completely removed from roofing and then they start to think, did I really need that? Do I really need to spend 5 grand on a new roof? All of this stuff. So if you can get to them within 30 seconds to a minute of them filling out that form, they are still looking at their phone. They just hit submit. They're still thinking, yeah, you know what? This is a great offer. I'm interested to learn more. And then your number comes through. That's amazing. So throughout this, I'll show you a simple way to make sure that you're capturing people right as they're interacting with your offer, with your service, with your website. And that's step one. And if you stay till the end, I'll give you a second bonus of using AI agents that will pick up the phone or that will call them and pick up the phone if you're busy. So stick with it and yeah, let's see. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen and there are three things you need to accomplish this. So I'm using a system called GoHighLevel, and that's my base system. I have my own version of it, but there are three things you need to accomplish what I talked about, which is the auto call as soon as a form is submitted. So I'll show you a quick example. So this is a form. So just imagine if you have one of those widgets on your website where you have a form. Imagine if this was a Facebook page and you have some agency or you did it yourself and people can fill in their name, they can fill in their email, they can fill in their phone number and hit submit. And right away, you would like to capture that and give them a call. So how do we do that in high level? Well, you need three things. First of all, of course, you need a phone number, right? So in your phone numbers, you actually need a phone number. So just come to phone numbers, click add number, buy a number for your business, like have an actual number for your business. And that's step one. Step two, you need to have a staff. So have somebody with a real phone number here that you can assign to that phone number you bought, right? That's just the way it works. So with this real number, whenever someone calls the high level number, it would forward it to this real number, right? And then this staff member is assigned to that phone number. So that's number two. Okay, so let's say you have those two things in place. How do we get this to work? Okay, so I created a new folder called YouTube Automations just for today. And I already created like a base thing called call me after a new lead comes in. So for you, you would just come and you would click create workflow and you would just say start from scratch. So that's pretty much all I did. So let's look at what this workflow does. A workflow, just remember, workflow can have multiple input triggers that start up the whole process. So this form, I'm just going to use that form, like this form I showed you guys. I'm going to use this form. So let's just say if the form is, and I think this one was a lead opt-in form. So just a basic lead opt-in form where they put in their details. So if somebody clicks that form, so lead opt-in form submitted. Of course, by the way, with high level, you can also connect to your Facebook. And if you have a Facebook ad going with a lead form, you can do that. Of course, LinkedIn and TikTok as well. So I'm just showing you with a simple form within high level here. And one thing you have to do next is in fact, let me show you. So the actual action is called the call action. And what this call action does is if the contact has been assigned to a user, this event will call that user first, uh, like your internal staff member, play the whisper message, right? And when they press any key, they then dial the other contact. And if that other contact answers the phone, they bridge the call. So I'll show you what that means. So you have to put in your own whisper message and just say, Hey, this is a new lead. Typically, I put the contact, which is the lead's first name, right? This is a new lead. If this is specific to a form, right, and it's from your website or it's from your Facebook ad, I mean, you would want to possibly say where it's from, just so your client knows that, okay, hey, this is from your efforts, right? So I usually just put my business name. So, hey, this is a new lead uh, from your lead nest, called Mike, right? There's a new lead from your lead nest called Mike. But then one thing I had to learn the hard way is you have to press any key to connect the call. And the reason is because of the advanced settings. So by default, this call connect after key press is enabled. And if somebody doesn't press the any key on their keypad, it doesn't actually connect the call. So I when you do this call connect feature elsewhere, just from a call forwarding, it automatically adds this message for you. But when you do it from within a workflow, you have to add this message. So yeah, calls kept failing and I had no idea why. My clients had no idea why. And then after speaking to support, I even just asked him, hey, did you press any key? And he said, no. I'm like, oops, yeah, you have to press a key. But we didn't tell him that. So here you go. So press any key to connect the call, and that's pretty much it. So let's just say call client or staff, and that's what this does, right? Again, if the contact has been assigned. So let's say somebody filled your form for the very first time. They're brand new in your system. They're obviously going to be unassigned. So the first thing you want to do is assign to a user. That way, when you're doing the call connect step, that user gets it. Okay, so I'm going to put my name here, Sam Alumba. And you know what? I can say only apply to unassigned contacts, but in this case, if you're a solopreneur and you're the only person who's in the business, then yeah, you can just leave it as is with your name all the time, knowing that you want to take all the calls. Okay, that's pretty much it. We're done. Somebody fills out the form, it assigns that person to our user of choice or our client of choice, and then it call connects them. Now, this is valuable by itself, right? And this is really helpful to make sure that everywhere leads coming from your website, everywhere, they are coming number one into your CRM, and then number two, you can call them right away. So if you do just this, you're ahead of the curve. Now, let's say you wanted to add more stuff, like you wanted to wait a few minutes, right? So first we assign, and then we don't want them to be extremely creeped out, thinking, oh my goodness, this guy literally has eyes on me. So let's say we want to wait 30 seconds. So half a minute is 30 seconds, right? So I think, can we do zero point 0.5? So we can do 0.5 over a minute, which is 30 seconds, and that will give us time. So just wait 30 seconds before calling. So that's number one. Number two thing you can do is in the settings of this workflow, we can allow re-entry, which means if somebody comes and they fill it again because maybe 6 months down the road they saw another ad and they filled out the form, we do want to call them right away again, right? We can remove this one, allow multiple opportunity. It doesn't really matter. Another thing you can do is you can set it to the contact's time zone. Doesn't really change much. I'm getting away from things. The main thing I wanted to show you was this time window. So you can set it so that this workflow only runs between your working hours. So you're not getting calls at midnight. You're not getting calls at 7 p.m. if you're with your kids or family having dinner. This will only run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can do that. And this is really the best feature of this. I'll give you the trick at the end, that special bonus where AI helps you afterwards. So let's hit save for now. Okay, so somebody fills in a form, we assign it to a user, we wait 30 seconds, and we give us a call. Okay, so that's how this works. Let us try this. Okay, so I'm just going to put John, at exampleperfect.com, and then let me just put in my number, and let's see if this works. Again, let's go back. Before workflows work, you have to publish them, right? This was in a draft state. Now it's active. So if something happens, like we're actually going to get called. That's number one. So you have to also just let's hit submit. Let's see what happens. Okay, thank you. Please check your email. That was said, but let's see what happens. So John came in. Okay, John has been added to the workflow, and John is probably waiting right now. So John is waiting 30 seconds. You can see that John's been assigned. John is waiting 30 seconds. And if we go in, we have to refresh the workflow to see where John is. But I should be getting a call right now. Now, because the phone number is directing to is my number, and the number I just put in is also my number, it's not going to work very well for the purpose of this. But at least I can, once 30 seconds is up, I can show you guys that I'm getting a call, essentially. So call client or staff. That's what's happening right now. Oh, so it's waiting. Yeah, it's waiting to call the client or staff. The other thing that is happening right now is that this specific window is kicking in. Okay, so the contact's time zone, like my current time zone, is in Eastern time, and because of that, it's past 5 p.m. at the moment of recording right now. So this already shows you this is how you protect your peace, right? It doesn't work. But now let's see if I can force it. Can I force it to go to the next step? Can I see? Force it to the next step. Let's see if that works. Ooh, okay, so it skipped the call because we were wait, but I think you understand the power of this already, right? Waited 30 seconds and call the people within the time frame we set. Like it's a perfect thing. The only addition I would add to this workflow at all is I will add something called a drip. If you have multiple people calling your business at the same time, or many people filled out your ad form in the evenings, which I've seen happen for my client who runs ads. Lots of people fill it in the evenings, and when they fill it in the evenings, he has like five different people to call in the morning, right? And he so there's something you absolutely need, and that's called a drip. Let me show you. So this drip makes sure that it only processes X amount every X interval. So you absolutely need this so that you can only process one person per 1 minute or per 3 minutes, right? If not, it will automatically call 100 people at once. It will just flow through the workflow, wait 30 seconds, and call everyone. And you can't talk to everyone at the same time. So this drip mode just if anybody submits the form, they will wait right here until the workflow should resume, and then it will call each one person like one at a time at a time. So this is a perfect automation for you because it waits, it has your work time, assigns it to you, waits 30 seconds so the person doesn't think we're freaky, and then calls them. Perfect. This is all. Now, what happens though if you're not available? And this is the secret sauce I was talking to you about. So GoHighLevel has something called AI agents. GoHighLevel has AI agents. And we're going to actually create a voice AI agent from scratch just to show you what that means. And the second benefit of this thing is that in your working hours for your automation, you can remove that and make it 24/7. So there'll be no restriction to when people get called. But then if you're not available because you're sleeping or because you're, meeting a client or something, someone else picks up. Let's see who that person is. Okay, that's your voice AI agent. So we're going to create a brand new one. This account is just called Demo Trades because I made it for trades. We're going to call her Ava.
Hey, Worldly 11 Labs friends, let's talk. Let's have a conversation about anything. My name's Jessica, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you.
So she called herself Jessica. I call her Ava. Sorry, Jessica, you're Ava now. Okay, so for the initial message, let's say someone's calling your business, someone filled out a form on your website. You can just say, hey, you've reached us. How can I help you? Or if you're a solopreneur, you can say, hey, you've reached us. I'm Ava, the AI assistant here. You know what? Sometimes people, when they are not sure they're talking to a robot, they get hesitant. When you say it up front, hey, this is a robot and I can help you in this way, right? Sam is unavailable at the moment, but I can take a message. But I can take a message. Please tell me why you are calling today. Like, this is a perfect intro. They know exactly what's happening, they know who they're speaking to and why, because the owner is unavailable. They know how the person can help them by taking a message. And please tell me why you're calling today, right? So that's the first step, the intro. Now let's go to the next step. So in high level, for this simple bot, just an as a receptionist to get information for you, you can just ask the bot to collect some key details like name, like the reason they are calling, which is what I asked, right? How can I help you today? Tell me why you're calling, or what's your name, you know? So we have to collect name, we have to collect the contact's issue. If you're in a business where you know it was from an ad and the outcome of that ad was, to book an estimate, and it's pretty straightforward. You just need an address. You need, yeah, booking an estimate. You need an address. You already got the email from Facebook. You already got the phone number from Facebook, and you already got the name from Facebook. You just need an address, right? Pretty much all you do is just click address. Just say, oh, you know, and then the first message changes. It becomes, hey, this is Ava. We're so grateful that you signed up to for our ad. We would love to just give us your address and we'll book you in, right? So you can do something like that, and or give us your address and we'll get back to you with the first available date we have, something like that. Now, honestly, you can go much more advanced, and when you go to the advanced mode, the bot can actually read your calendar once you set it up. I'm just going to click on it, okay? So if we add a new action, the bot can actually book an appointment. There is a book appointment. All you do is select a calendar, quotes or estimates, say how many days you have available, say how many slots, and these days are reserved for the bot. Like, other people can book them, but these days the bots have access to, right? Hours between slots, so you can just give it like a 2 hour window. You can give it a 1 hour window. If you know you need an hour to drive, you need an hour to do stuff. Save. Now, once this is done, your bots can actually book an appointment for you. And literally, I've been doing more talking than clicking, right? You guys can see it's only taking a few clicks to do all this stuff. So it's setting up your bot, it's picking a calendar. For you as a owner operator, as a handy guy, all you'd be doing is you'd go to the quotes, to the calendar, and you make sure it's synced up with your Google, with your Outlook, and you make sure your Outlook is up to date. And if you run ads or you connect this thing to your website and your calendar is up to date, say less. This will book appointments for you in your sleep. Okay, so click next. And as far as I know, you're pretty much done. We're just going to wait for this to load. You're pretty much done. All you do is select the phone number that you want the bot or agent to be attached to. So we're going to pick a number and we want the bot and agent to be attached to this number. You can set working hours for the agent, or if you leave it like this, it's active 24/7. So this was the secret sauce I was telling you about. This bot, any call to your number that you miss, this bot will pick up. Can you imagine that? Any call to your number that you miss, this bot will pick up. And because of this checkmark, the AI agent now is a backup to the phone number that you specified here. Okay, so I think we all get the gist. So our workflow, whenever someone fills in a form, it assigns the user and calls us. But if we miss it, we have an AI voice agent that's a backup. And that AI voice agent will then speak to the person and try and book an appointment. Genius. So let's test this out so far. Okay, I'm just calling. Let's see it in action. Okay, I have to put it on speaker. Hey, you have reached Demo Trades. I'm Ava, the AI assistant here. Sam is unavailable at the moment. Please tell me why you're calling today. Oh, hi, Ava. Yeah, I think you guys do roofing. Is that correct? Hey there. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I can have a team member reach out to you with the details. Could I get your contact information to pass along? Yeah, what's contact? Just my number?
Actually, I'll need your email address so we can send you any necessary details and follow up. Could you please provide?
Sure, my email is johnmendez@gmail.com. John Mendez at gmail.com.
Great. I've got your email as johnmendez@gmail.com. Will reach out to you soon with more information.
Well, can I book an appointment actually?
Absolutely. Let's get that appointment booked for you. Do you have a specific date and time in mind?
What's your closest day available?
Oops. Seems like there was a hiccup checking availability. How about you let me know your. I'll make sure to get it sorted for you.
Sure, okay, let's do tomorrow at 3 p.m.
It seems like there's a confirm your appointment for tomorrow at 3 p.m.
No, that is perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for reaching out. We'll be in touch soon. Have a great day.
Okay, bye. So, the reason I'm showing you this, because one thing we didn't do is we didn't actually set up the calendar. So in fact, as soon as I called, I realized that because the calendar wasn't set up, if you go to that calendar now, you will not be able to see any available days. So that's why the bot couldn't find any, because we didn't set it up with any available dates. So yeah, anyway, but still the bot was able to get a summary. So the user inquired about roofing services and provided their email. They attempted to book an appointment for the next day at 3 p.m., but the agent could not confirm the booking. Guys, I've been speaking longer than it took us to click this thing. And a bot worked for your business, picked up the phone, and again, we already set up the workflow where as soon as someone signs up, they get a call from us, right? Or if we're not available, the bot picks up. And how crazy is that? Honestly, my focus so far is removing all the fluff. Like there's lots of people hyping AI, hyping all of this stuff, and there's lots you can do. But what's the core business thing you need to move forward? Have more conversations, have more sales conversations with paying clients or actual interested clients, right? And then make sure that those people are hot. Make sure that they are interested now, right? If you can just do those things, you can book your calendar out. If you wait 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, a day, you're done. That person is gone because everyone lives in a fast food economy where we need things now. So if you reached out to me and you said, hey, I need help implementing this, Sam, and I took 24 hours, I took 2 days, I said, it's too long, right? We have other things to do. Every day there's a laundry list of things we didn't even finish from yesterday. So enough talk, but that's why I made this. It's a quick, easy way within 30 seconds for you to reach out to somebody who was knocking on your door saying, hey, I'm interested. Okay, well, if anybody needs help setting this up in GoHighLevel, you already have the pictures. Use my affiliate link in the comments below. Sign up for your own 14-day trial. Try it out for your business. Let me know in the comments how it goes. If you need help with me setting up an account for you, helping you with just basic automations that work for your business, reach out, right? Leave a comment. Let me know there's interest. If there's anything else you want to see, please let me know. I'm very, very happy to just keep making videos that help. But if somebody found this helpful, like, subscribe, leave a comment. The comment is really helpful so I know where you guys need help. I'm a 10-year software developer. I've done this for 10 years, building big apps. Not even this. This is simple stuff for me. Big apps, like mobile apps for banks and such. So if you guys need like serious automations to make your business easy, let me know. Have a wonderful day.